because of the way that Revit saves central files, and indeed local files, the backup folder, which we can see here in Windows Explorer, contains information about the project file and all the incremental saves that have happened during its life. It also contains a file called the slog file, which contains information about the users who have been working on the file. This file can be opened with Notepad, and you can find information on all the users who have been accessing the file. Do not be tempted to delete or change these backup files in any way, as you will then be unable to retrieve the history or roll back the project to previous states. So let's go into Revit and take a look at where we can access the history and how we can roll back the project should we need to. I'm doing this process in a blank project. It doesn't matter what project you have open. From the Collaborate tab, I can show history or restore to backup. Let's look at the show history first. The history that I want to look at is the history of my Chapter 19 Worksharing Central file. If I click on Open, we're not actually opening the file, we're opening the history. You can see the list of people who have worked on the project. Here we can click on Export and save out a delimited text file of the central file's history. The other option I have is to restore a backup. Here I'm going to select the folder, which is the backup folder, not the actual project file itself. And this is why you must not change any of the files in the backup folder. So let's click on Open. Here are the versions of the file that are available to us, so we can do a Save As. And we have two options for this. We can do a Save As or a Rollback. Let's deal with Save As first. This saves the file with a date and time stamp that matches the date and the time that the file was saved. The other option is to roll the project back. You'd have to be extremely careful about using this procedure because this will take the project back to a date and time, not just for yourself, but for every other user on the project. And Revit does give you a warning. This rollback cannot be undone. Are you sure you want to continue? All backup versions later than the selected one, including the current version, will be lost. So if you wanted to do this, you're probably better off doing a Save As, saving the file with a date and time stamp, and then finding whether that is actually the date and time that you want to roll the file back to. This process does need to be used with extreme caution.